Morning children, welcome to your science video lecture. So as you all know that in our previous video we have started the chapter fiber to fabric, and in this video we will continue the chapter fiber to fabric. But before moving on to the other topics, I would like to recall that what we have learned in the previous video. So let's do a quick recap of what we have learned. Okay, so in the previous video we have talked about that what are fibers, how we get fibers. Okay, so what are fibers? Fibers are very thin strands or thread, okay, that are consist of various composite materials. Means that are what are fibers? Fibers are very thin strands of thread. Okay, they are very thin strands of threads that then we convert fibers to yarn. Okay, and yarn are what? They are the thread like structures, and different yarns, they combine together to form a particular fabric. Okay, then we have talked about that what are the different type of fibers. Okay, so there are mainly two types of fiber. So the main two type of fibers are natural fiber and the second one is synthetic fiber. So what we have talked about these, that the natural fibers are what? That we obtain from nature. Okay, those fibers that we get from nature is known as natural fibers, and on the basis of their that obtains that where from where we get. Okay, that on that basis these are divided, the natural fibers are divided into two categories. Okay, two furthermore categories they are divided into. Okay, the first one is plant fiber and the second one is, okay, and the second one is animal fiber. And what are plant fiber? Plant fibers are those fiber that we get from plants. For example, cotton, jute. Okay, these are examples of some plant fiber. Then comes the animal fiber. What are animal fibers? Animal fibers are those fibers that we get from animal. For example, wool we get it from uh, sheep. Okay, then silk we get from silkworm. Okay, so these are some examples of animal fiber. Now moving on from natural fiber to synthetic fiber. So synthetic fiber basically means the fiber that are artificially made. Okay, so those fiber that we make artificially are known as synthetic fibers, right? And what are the two main things, methods by which we make synthetic fiber? Those are technical methods we can be used, and or either technical methods or chemical treatment through which the synthesis of fibers takes place. Okay, and some examples of synthetic fibers are rayon, nylon, polyester and acrylic. Okay, and we have also talked about the absorption properties of these particular cloth. So if you want to know the detail about all these things, you can go and watch the previous video first. Okay, now, and one more thing that we have talked about in that video is that how we obtain cotton. Okay, how cotton is obtained and what is the process of separating cotton from seed, that we have talked about in that video. So for the proper detail you can watch the video. Okay, I am just giving you a small recap that what we have read in this in that particular video, what we have learned in that video. Okay, now we are going to do the next topic, that is jute. We have talked about cotton, how we get cotton. Now we are going to talk about that from where we get jute fiber. Okay, jute fiber is also a type of plant fiber. Okay, plant fiber means we get jute from plant. Okay, so students, jute fiber is also is a soft and long natural fiber. Okay, and it have a very it has a golden silky shine to it. Okay, it has a golden silky shine to it, you can see it here. So that is the reason that it is also known as golden fiber. Okay, if the question is asked to you that why jute is known as a golden fiber, so you can say that it is because it has a golden silky shine to it. That is the reason why jute fiber is also known as golden fiber. Okay, and as you know that And as it is a natural fiber, so it means that we get jute, we obtain jute from jute plant. Okay, and jute plant is mainly, these are mainly grown in the mainly in the fields of Bihar, Assam and India, and West Bengal. In India, jute fiber is basically grown in the field of Bihar, Assam and West Bengal. Okay, these are the places where the plantation of jute fiber takes place. Okay, and jute fiber is cultivated in the rainy season. Okay, the plantation of jute fiber takes place, and the cultivation of the jute plant takes place in rainy season. Okay, and the next thing that comes is that the jute fiber is harvested at the flowering stage. Okay, it is harvested at the flowering stage. So you can see that here in this picture, jute fiber is harvested at the flowering stage. Flowering means when it is about to give flower, that particular time the jute plant is harvested. Okay, and they are obtained from the outer skin called ribbon. Okay, so this is the jute plant. So here you can see that the outer skin of jute plant, okay, it gives the fiber jute, and it is also known as, that is called ribbon. And also jute fiber is we can get jute fiber from the stem of the jute plant. Okay, from the two places where we get jute fiber is the outer skin, that is also known as ribbon, and also at the stem of the jute plant. Okay, also from the stem we get jute fiber. Okay, so how from the stem of jute plant? The stem of jute plant are basically bundled together. Bundle means they are combined together. Okay, for many stems of jute plant, they are combined together, they are made into a bundle, and they are kept in the running water for few days, okay, in the river. And after that, what happens when that particular when those stems of jute plant are kept on the running water, what happens during this time, these fibers, okay, you can see you can see here in this picture, the fibers of the jute plant, they get loosen up. Okay, they get loosen up, they get loose, so they can be easily separated. Okay, if we didn't do this process, what could happen, that the fibers of jute, they will not loosen up. So to lose those fiber up, what is needed, that they are kept on the running water, and after some days, you will observe that the all the jute fibers, they are getting loosen up. So it is then it makes the process easier to extract the jute fiber, to to extract those jute fiber from the stem. And the process of extraction of jute fiber from the stem is known as retting. Okay, the process in which we separate jute fiber from the stem is known as retting. The process is known as retting. Now, what are the some uses of jute fiber? So jute fiber is used for making sacks. Sacks means बोरी, जो बोरी होती है आपके घर में, that is made up of jute fiber. What else? The curtains, okay, cover, chair cover, rugs, area rug. Okay, these are some examples where you have seen that you can see that the jute fiber is used. And also the ropes, you might have seen that there are different ropes of jute that are used by people. Okay, now these were some uses of jute fiber. Okay, okay students, now let us talk about spinning cotton yarn. Okay, what is spinning cotton yarn? First of all, to understand this, let's see that as we all know that cotton is used for many things, like It is used in cloth making, bed sheets, towels, fishing net, tents. Okay, these are different places where the cotton fiber is used. But as we all know that this cannot be used directly. The cotton that we extract from plant cannot be used directly to make all of these things. So what happened, to make these things, first of all we have to convert the cotton that we have, the cotton fiber, to cotton yarn. Okay, we have to convert the cotton fiber that we get from cotton plant, to cotton yarn. Okay, and why we cannot make the cotton, the items that we mostly use of cotton to, you know, because it is why we cannot make it directly from the cotton fiber that we get from plant, is because they don't have the required length and strength to it. Okay, the fiber that we extract from the cotton plant is not that strengthable, or you can say it doesn't have that proper amount of length or strength to make these things directly. So before making these, what we have to do, we have to convert the cotton fiber to cotton yarn, and the process of making yarn from cotton fiber is known as spinning. So what is spinning? The process of making yarn from cotton fiber. Okay, the process of making yarn from cotton fiber is known as spinning. So now let's see what are the methods by which a cotton fiber is converted into cotton yarn. Okay, so there are two simple methods, or you can say simple devices, with the help of which we can convert a cotton fiber to cotton yarn. First one is hand spindle, or you can call is as Starkly. Okay, it is also known as Starkly. So what it does is, the cotton fiber is, cotton fiber, we enter the cotton fibers enter from this side, and by twisting it, by it adds to the fiber is added to each other, and it get converted into a cotton yarn. Okay, and the second one, which is very famous and all of you may know about it, is that charkha. Okay, I hope that you have seen charkha somewhere in the photos, or maybe any one of you might have seen it, you know in front of them also. And the charkha is mostly popularized by Mahatma Gandhi. Whenever you picturize Mahatma Gandhi, you picturize him with a charkha. Okay, so the two main devices with the help of which the cotton fiber is converted to cotton yarn are hand spindle or takli, or a charkha. Okay, these are two devices with the help of which the spinning of cotton yarn takes place. Okay, these were the traditional methods, but as you know that that nowadays there are uses of there people use lots of machines. So spinning of cotton yarn is now done by spinning machines. Okay, it produce a large quantity of cotton yarn. It can produce large quality of cotton yarn. Now let's move on to the second topic, that is, so now we know that the cotton fiber is converted into yarn. Okay, the cotton fiber is converted into yarn by the method that we just talked about, is spinning. Okay, now the cotton yarn is converted into fabric. Okay, so there are basically two methods to convert cotton yarn into cotton fabric. The first one is weaving, and the second one is knitting. Okay, so now first we are going to talk about weaving. So to understand weaving, we are going to understand it with the help of an activity. So here, look at this paper. So what you have to do is, you have to perform this. First of all, you have to perform this activity by yourself. Okay, you can perform this activity at your home. This is very easy activity, and I hope that all of you watch this video, and after watching this video you perform this activity at your home. And in your Zoom class, I will ask that how many of you have performed this activity, and also I will ask you to show me the result what you have done. Okay, so what you have to do, for this activity is that you have to take two papers. Okay, two color papers. You have to take two color papers. After taking two color papers, what you have to do, you have to cut one color paper. Okay, you have to cut one you have to cut one color paper with similar strips. Okay, as you can see in this picture that the one color paper is cut with the help of a scissor into thin strips. Okay, you have to cut the strips of the paper, equal strips of the paper. And with the second paper, what you have to do is you have to fold the second paper. Okay, fold the second paper, and then folding the second paper with the help of scissor, you have to cut those that particular page also, the paper also, with thin strips. But you don't have to cut the strips all the way through. Okay, you don't have to cut the strips all the way through. Okay, try to do it. Wait a second, students. Okay, don't cut it all the way through. Okay, you have to cut it till the just about 1 centimeter above. Okay, and then unfold the paper. You will observe that these paper, both the paper looks something like this. Okay, the first one you have strips of the first color paper, and the second one you have cut the paper such that it has 1 centimeter gap. And okay, you can see here in this picture. Now after doing this, what you have to do is you have to put these strips, okay, you can see these color paper strips into this paper such that one side of the paper is above and the second one is all the way down. Okay, what you have to do, you have to put these strips into the color paper. You have to put it inside the paper, and you have to put it such that one strip is above and the second one is down the other strip. Okay, after this you have to do what you have to, this is the first step, this is the second step. On the next step, what you have to do, you have to take another strip and you have to do the opposite with the other strip. Okay, now you have to put the first strip under the strip and then above. Okay, such that it is, you can observe this pattern on your paper. Okay, how this pattern can be formed, you have to observe that. What you have to do is, first of all, you have to take the strip, and with first strip you have to put the one on the upper side, and then while you are putting that particular strip inside, you are doing just one thing, that is up and down and up and down. Okay, and when you take the next strip, what you have to do is you have to do the same thing with it. Okay, with the second strip you have to do it such that it is under the first strip and then above the second strip. Okay, when you will do all this with all the rest of the papers, you will observe a pattern like this. Okay, you will observe a pattern like this, and this particular pattern is known as weaving. Okay, this particular pattern is known as weaving. Okay, so in weaving, what we do, we take two strips of not two strips, sorry, you take two fabrics. Okay, you take two different color of yarn. And so what is weaving? The process of arranging two sets of yarn to make a fabric is known as weaving. What is weaving? The process of arranging two sets of yarn to make a fabric is known as weaving. Okay, and weaving is very difficult with the with hands. So so how it is done? It is done with the help of a structured, okay, it is a structure which is known as loom. Okay, this is known as loom. Okay, so what it does, it basically provide the balance of both the yarns. Okay, so the yarn which is used vertically, okay, is known as The vertically one is known as wrapped thread or wrapped yarn, and the one which is used horizontally is known as weft thread or weft yarn. Okay, and with the help of loom we can create different patterns for a weaving. Okay, with the help of loom different type of patterns can be formed. But today in nowadays the machines are used to do weaving. Okay, and you know that it is done in a larger quantity, so it is very easier for with the help of machine. Now the next topic that we are going to study is knitting. So knitting, I hope that all of you have heard about that what is knitting. So knitting is basically in Hindi we call it as that, for example, you have heard about sweater bunna, right? So what is knitting? Knitting is basically a process of converting a single thread into fabric is called knitting. So what in weaving, what is required? Two different threads are required, but in knitting what we do it with the help of single thread. So here you can see that a single thread, or you can say a single yarn, is used to make a fabric with the help of needle. Stretchable. Okay, it is a stretchable material. So where we use knitted fabric for making sweaters, making socks, t-shirts, gloves, cap. Okay, and why? Because they take the shape of our body, and what else, to give us the that particular tight fitting. Okay, I hope that you understand that what is knitting and what is weaving, and what are the major difference between both. In weaving, the two different color of threads are required, but in knitting only one thread is required. Okay, so this was the end of the chapter, and I hope that all of you understood the chapter. Thank you so much, students.